I think I'll start this video off with a quick firearms quiz. What pistol is this? No, it's not the Lionheart LH9. But in order to understand that pistol, you kind of got to understand this one, because it's its predecessor, at least in the US market. And I could be wrong, but I think three groups of people will know the correct answer. One will be the general firearms enthusiast, the expert, the guy who knows all types of guns, studies all types of guns. I think he knows what this one is. Maybe previous owners, or you're a current owner of this gun. And then a very surprising group, very knowledgeable group I might add, longtime TMPers. That's right. Guys who have been watching the Nutnfancy project since 2008, they will know this gun. That's because this is one of the first service pistols we shot for the Nutnfancy project way back in 2008. It was my son Tactical Doodle, myself. We were shooting an abandoned stove at about 90 yards. I think we had a SIG, a Glock, and this gun. So name this gun. Let's check it out. If you said it is a Daewoo DP-51 Nutnfancy, give yourself a gold star. You are correct. That's right. And did you know I have about 17 years of shooting this DP-51? It's been in the Nutnfancy clan that long. That's right. About that long. Long time. And the fact that we still have it as a family says a lot about the gun. We could have sold it dozens of times, and to be honest, I won't guarantee you I won't sell it in the future. But as of now, we still have it. And we still love it. Seriously love it. It's not perfect. We're going to talk about the DP-51 a little bit, and then its predecessor. Let's introduce it now. There it is, the LH9, which is basically a DP-51 updated. And the DP-51 is basically a Korean, Daewoo Industries Korean K5, the South Korean service pistol. And now you see the LH9. Very similar guns. There are some upgrades. Some are very obvious. As you can tell, it's mostly cosmetic. I still love the series. I still do. I will tell you right now, my true love for the DP-51 lies in its value. When I can score a lot for my money, probably just like you guys, I get really stoked. And at the time, when did I buy this? Like mid-90s, and I think I paid $325 at a gun show through an FFL. With 2 mags is what it came with. That's pretty good. $325. At one time, I think on camera I may said I spent below $300. I was wrong. I looked again and it was $325. But that's still a smoking deal for such a durable and well-made, combat-proven, I don't know if that's the right word, but you know what I'm saying. Let's say service-proven pistol, the DP-51. So here we are in 2013 and beyond. The Lionheart LH9 is the same gun, once again available. Now, guys in the Nutnfancy project asked me for years, they're like, dude, you got to review the DP-51, because TMPers would watch through the years every so often. This gun would come out and accompany us on a shoot, and I'd read the comments. They're like, man, come on, review it. But I hesitated, obviously, because the gun was not available. So why review something that generates a lot of interest? Guys can't go out and buy it. So in a way, I'm kind of glad I waited, because now we got this one. The LH9. So DP-51 going in the background. See ya! We'll talk about it some more. First off, isn't that a good-looking gun? In that Cerakote FDE flavor? That's awesome. We're going to talk about value. That's going to be kind of a theme as we talk about the LH9 series. And we'll talk about the DP-51. I guess we'll jump right into philosophy of use. I'm going to go light on this because I've done it for so many years now. You guys already know. Where I'll go first is concealed carry. Because I think some guys will ask, and I have actually 2 LH9s to show you on loan. They'll say, hey dude, is that a good concealed carry option? Well, I'm going to say this. Any gun's a good concealed carry option if you have it on your person. When, you know, all heck breaks loose, you have a gun, pistol, AR-15, shotgun, whatever, It's going to be a pistol, realistically speaking. I would say yes if you can carry it. The dealio is I would generally opt for something a little bit lighter. What do I have on the table here? Not a lot. I have the outstanding Walther PPQ first edition. Eat your heart out. That's sick. It's going to be a little bit lighter than this one. Even the compact, that's compact, didn't formally introduce it. LH9C is the proper terminology. And then as you see me rock for years, a Glock 26 or Keltec PF9 or a Car Series pistol. Those are going to be lighter. I will have those on my person. These are good but not excellent concealed carry options for me. Let's go back to the DP-51, for instance. I've had this 17 years. How many times have I carried this concealed? Goose egg. None. Not never. Because I'm usually going with a Glock or something polymer framed. Some guys, I will tell you right now, hate polymer framed handguns. They just do. They don't like how they shoot. They don't like how they feel. They like the feel of either a steel or 7000 series frame, which this is, forged, I might add. That would be a good option for you. This gun is not that heavy, so don't get me wrong. It's 28 ounces for the LH9. The LH9C is about 26 ounces, give or take a couple halves here and there. That's not super heavy. But keep in mind, the Keltec PF9 is, what, 13 ounces? Yeah, a Glock 17. Here's a Glock 22. Love the 40 cal, by the way. Got that one highlighted. Sick. 25 ounces, so it's 3 ounces lighter than that one for a full-size, you know, Glock 22. I think the 22 is actually a little bit heavier. I'm quoting you as 17 weight. The SIG 228, by way of, we're talking about size and weight along with philosophy of use, which makes sense in this discussion. The SIG 228 is 30 ounces, so it's heavier than this. The SIG P250, which I still think is a warrior pistol, is 29 ounces. So there, quick rundown. Little bit bulky for concealed carry for me, but I know a lot of guys that carry full-size service pistols, 1911s, so just to terminate that discussion, we'll just say, yeah, you can do it, not my first choice. Service pistol, home defense, absolutely. You might want to go with their railed version that they have, and that is called a Mark II. I don't have one on the table. It's basically an LH9 with a rail under it. There you go. Home defense, service pistol, raw gun, all the other stuff I've talked about. Hope you liked it. That's your philosophy of use discussion. Oh, I will add this, though. Collectible. I think the DP-51 is kind of a collectible. Not in terms of value, but in terms of specialness. I mean, I started the whole video off asking dudes, you know, what pistol is this? I bet a lot of folks don't know. They don't know. They may think it's, well, it's a LH9. Nope. It's kind of special. So will this make it in the market, or will it be around? Who knows? If it isn't, it's going to be kind of collectible. There, I said it. So weight is, I would say, substantial, but not outlandish. Outlandish for me is when it goes above 30 ounces. And there's guns I like that fall into that category. SIG 226. Perfect example. Balance is excellent. The feel is excellent. I've always liked it. The DP-51 and now the LH9 series. Firepower is a little bit improved from over the 90s. So this is a 15 round magazine, proprietary, for the DP-51. You can see that it sticks out the butt plate a little bit. So that's a 15 rounder. If it fits flush, just like this one, the Nutnfancy DP-51, you're going to see that it's flush mounted. So that's a 13 round magazine. So same as a P228. Same. One thing that I really loved about the DP-51, remember the value, that it was a $325, as we will talk about, accurate and reliable combat handgun, is that it took 5900 series Metgar magazine. So here's one right here. So this is meant for a Smith & Wesson 5900 series magazine. It's a 17 rounder, and the DP-51 fits and functions perfectly. Oh, I like that, because I don't know about now, but once upon a time you could find these 5900 series magazines really inexpensively, because that Smith & Wesson pistol does not sell that much. And so for years you would see these magazines at vendors, online, and elsewhere at gun shows. You could pick them up for 15 bucks. I am sad to report, however, this kind of irks me actually, that the LH9 is not compatible with this particular magazine. I know, because we tried it a lot. Not working. I contacted Lionheart. They're working on it, and I bet you they fix it. I don't know if it's a follower issue or what. I mean, it will fit into the LH9, but it won't function. So they really need to fix that, because that is a huge selling point. Heck, for dudes like me who own a DP-51, love the gun, wouldn't mind adding an LH9. Now we have commonality in the magazine department, right? So Lionheart, I know, is working on that. I think they will fix that. I will say, though, as it comes, I think each gun, by the way, comes with 2 magazines. Firepower is adequate, however, not outstanding. As we've seen on this table, lots of other guns will beat it. Here's a Glock. Let's see, that's a 22 magazine. 15 round is standard. Of course, you've got the 17 rounder for the Glock 17 XDM series. You know the tally on that, firepower. But keep in mind, I really love the 228, and it's a 13 rounder, unless you use a mech guard. Firepower adequate. How about accuracy? In no particular order, we shot these LH9 pistols, both the LH9C, the LH9 standard, as you can see in the background. This is what I came up with. Nutnfancy, that sucks. You are right. I can't remember the range on this. I think it was about at 20 yards standing, which I'm kind of famous for. So that's not too bad right there. Not so great. Big dispersion here. Here's 10 yards with the LH9. This is in February of 2013. Blazer. Oh, that's a good group, dude. I will tell you this. You've got to concentrate to connect with this gun well. There are some guns that I can just, pony on up and really hit with easily. I don't think the LH9 falls into that category, and I will blame the trigger mostly. Yep. And to be honest, the DP-51 is the same way, always has been for me. Not a horrible trigger, we'll talk about it more in ergonomics, but you have to concentrate it and stage it properly to get this type of accuracy. You can do a lot of that, like I've talked about here in TMP for years, by, hello, Bueller? Dry firing, that's correct. Safe direction, make sure it's empty. Here's 10 yards, standing in the snow. That's an okay group. That's a good group. I'm really happy with that one. Smoking group. I like that one a lot. This is what the gun's capable of doing. So the gun is inherently accurate. That's at 10 yards, it's not at 30. If you got that at 25 or 30, that would be amazing. Cellar and Bellet, 124 grain XTP. This is 10 yards, standing in the snow. Disregard this, this is from a previous shoot. At S&B ammo, shoots so well. Look at that. Basically one hole. Golden Saber, 100% reliable with that. Great group. That Golden Saber, dudes, if that doesn't shoot good out of a gun, something's wrong with the gun. Now, we're going to go back. That's LH9 I've been talking about. I was planning once upon a time on a DP-51 review, and over the years here in TMP, we've shot this gun a lot. So here comes some targets from that. In fact, we did the credit card drill with Yoda, but it's Terry Gardner up at Impact Guns. This is him. I don't even know what date this is, like 2 years ago. Well, look at Terry, dude. Totally tearing it up. Nice job, dude. 7 yards. Remember, I'll say what I always say. Guys should say, oh, that's easy at 7 yards. Right. You come shoot with me. We'll see how easy it is. Shot with lots and lots of people, and very few can do this. Very few. Yeah, all my qualifications, too. I don't see it. Not never. Not like that. There's, who is this? I don't know who this is. Maybe me, maybe Terry. That's probably me, because that's opened up. That's a nice group there. Yeah, this is me, because I always shoot left. That's okay. It's okay. I think Terry beat me in that credit card drill mostly. Last target. Here we go. Bang, 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 bang. So my overall feel on the LH9 DP-51, basically the same gun. At least when we come to this stuff. Accurate. As accurate as a Glock and a SIG? I would say probably not, if you want me to be honest with you. From the way most people shoot it. You want to blame the trigger? Yeah, maybe. But I seem to get better accuracy with a SIG, better accuracy with a Glock consistently. There is a caveat, though, and that is if I've shot the LH9, gotten into it, then I come alive with it, and I can say, okay, I'm shooting the Daewoo, know how it is. I start scoring. So there you go. That's accuracy. Good, but not outstanding. Takes concentration on the trigger. Let's do a point-by-point review, not of this gun, but of LH9, and we'll show you some differences. A lot of similarities. I'm going to start with the glaring differences, and that will be the grips are different. So here we have plastic grips on the DP-51, and Lionheart has opted to do milled aluminum grips, and they offer outstanding traction. They're very cool. And apparently not much extra weight, because these two guns weigh about the same. Do you like aluminum grips? Usually I like something synthetic, to be honest. I do. But these are cool. Big block traction diamonds there. They're cool. And they look very good. So that's a difference. You can see the frame coating on this, right? Talked about that Cerakoting FDE. Very cool. This is, again, a forged 7075 T6 frame, guys. So when we talk about value, remember the quality that goes in here. And to be fair with Lionheart, and I always want to be fair in my reviews, this was produced in the mid-1990s, this gun. And so to say, hey, we want this gun now for $325, those days are gone, dude. It just ain't going to happen. Especially with importation costs on this gun, just to bring it in country. Not going to happen. But if you hate polymer, you like steel again or aluminum again, good luck finding a gun with all the features this has at this price point. Kind of jumping ahead to value just a little bit. The slide is made of 4140 hammer forged steel. So is the barrel, by the way. Actually, the barrel is 4150 steel, I think. But everything is basically hammer forged on these Daewoos. That was one thing I really loved about getting them. In fact, going back to the DP-51, this is interesting. I paid what I felt was so little for the gun, I set out to pretty much abuse it. When I lived in Spokane, Washington, this was a gun that was thrown in the truck, and I would just go out and just shoot it all the time. This one has, I don't know, multiple thousands of rounds through it. And I really fell in love with the DP-51 when it didn't break. Or jam, mostly. I mean, I think this one jammed a few rounds when I first got it. Like 2 or 3 failures to go into battery all the way, and then it went away. So I attributed that to break-in. Both of these were 100% reliable with the factory magazines. Very important point. I love that it was a hammer forged, basically military pistol. That's what you're getting when you get a Lionheart. It's not a civilian pistol. This is a K5. Okay, so it's a Korean service pistol, and it's been used, my understanding, by the Korean military the whole time. They're still using it. Talking about ergonomics. This is the same. Front strap milling. The trigger guard's the same. Plenty of room in here. It's not too big, not too small. Squared face on the trigger guard. I like that. Just like the DP-51, it's smooth right here. You can put skateboard tape if you want. Magazine release is ambidextrous. The safety levers are ambidextrous. This is actually a really good lefty pistol. Pretty good. The only thing is it's ejecting to the right, of course. You know, pick your poison. Trigger, let's talk about that now, I guess. It's an interesting trigger, and it was interesting back when the gun came out in 1989, at least when it was first designed. I always call it the fast fire mechanism. And fast fire means this. First, it is a conventional double action to single action transition trigger. So if we fire it, safety off, of course, we just carry it with a safety round in the chamber. This does have a firing pin block. You can do that, no problems. Bam, you fire, it transitions to single action, just like a SIG 226 does. No dedicated hammer drop in this one. If you want to drop the hammer, you're going to just do it like, I don't know, you always do it, just safely like that. Now, the fast fire mechanism, and actually Lionheart calls it the double action plus, they always have to change the name, mechanism goes like this. So you would cock the gun, push the hammer forward, and now when you pull the trigger, it's actually a long single action pull, more or less. It's going to be about 7 pounds still, so it's not that awesome. I should say 7 pounds single action right here, and then for double action plus, using the correct terminology, about 6 pounds, albeit a long pull. Let me give you a little tip from a Daewoo user for 17 years. One is the safety. One of the criticisms I have of the DP-51 is the safety was not super positive. And actually, I talked to Lionheart when they were coming out with LH9. They were in conversations with me, heck, 2 years ago about this pistol. And I said, dudes, that's great. You're bringing it back. Make that safety more positive. And I'm talking about this. So you can carry this gun cocked and locked, the LH9. That's cool. For guys who like cocked and locked, do it. The gotcha is this. So let's say you decide, well, I'm not going to carry it cocked and locked, round into chamber, hammer down, and then I'm going to do double action plus and carry it like that. I do not recommend that. Here's why. Because you can fan this hammer back, and then now you don't have safety off, and now you have a light trigger pull to set the gun off. Don't do that. Okay? So I recommend either doing it like this, just traditional long and heavy double action pull. The gun would be completely safe doing that. You could carry it cocked and locked like this. And we were talking about the positivity of the safety. I don't know if I'd recommend that either, because while the LH9 still has a more positive safety, it's not like bulletproof. And the way I'm going to demonstrate that now is, let's leave this gun right here. Here's the DP-51. Okay, so it's cocked and locked. I'm going to drop it on the table. Let me see if I can get that safety to disengage. That's what I'm talking about right there. Right there. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Kept on that time. Now let's try it with the LH9. You like the scientific testing? See, it popped off too. So, is that a showstopper for me? No, because this is how I'd carry my gun. I don't like carrying condition 1 if I can get away with it. So, leave it at that. Moving on. The hammer is different in the LH9 in that it's a ring hammer. This is a spur hammer, nice and broad in the DP-51, and the K5 as well. Which one do I like better? Probably the ring hammer on the LH9, because it's rounded, it's lower profile, and it's very comfortable. I like that one better. Speaking of the safety, we talked about the positivity. It is slightly more positive, even though you saw my little informal drop tests. It is very low profile, and I like that actually. I don't want big levers on an ambi safety, so they're sticking way out here. You can see it's ambidextrous even on the DP-51. LH9 is the same, so I have no issues with that at all. Sights, decent, really good sights. They should look familiar because they're on a lot of other combat pistols that we've seen and talked about on the project. Got milling on the top strap, I should say on the top of the slide. Reduce glare, I guess. That was in the original DP-51, K5 as well. Cool. Check out the barrel. This is Ergonomics. Matte chrome finished. I always love that about these guns. I keep showing you the DP-51, but you know, you get the drift. About the same. Sweet. Ergonomics. What else am I going to talk about? Oh, I do like this. No magazine safety in the LH9. So without a magazine, gun still fires. Gun still fires. Like the slide serrations, you can see there is a difference between the DP-51 and the LH9. Just like that. And my overall take on these guns, ergonomics aside, is that these suckers are tough. I mean, we're talking really tough. They just don't wear out. If there's anybody who has worn out a DP-51 or years down the road, since the gun's kind of new, the LH9, say so in the comments. I'd be curious. I just don't see this gun wearing out. Not with the components it's made out of. And again, that's another reason I totally love it. Field strip and maintenance. Look it up. I ain't doing it right here. Pretty standard. There's your takedown lever. Take the magazine out. Safety check it. Pop this sucker out. Comes down pretty quick. As easy as a Glock? Not quite. Or a 226 for that matter? Not quite. That takes us to accessories. There are some aftermarket options for this, and they're going to be available directly from Lionheart, I believe. They're doing a series of Kydex holsters from them. So stay tuned to their website and you'll see specific Kydex holsters for the Lionheart. But if you go on the regular market, and I've been living with this, like I said, since the mid-90s, there's not a lot of dedicated holsters for the DP-51 or the LH9. That's just the way it is. I hope to see the magazines working with the LH9 series. I think they will figure that out, what's going on, and you'll see compatibility down the road. I could be wrong. I recommend, out of all the variations that Lionheart is currently producing, probably the LH9 Mark II. The one with the Picatinny rail. That way, again, you can slam the light, the laser combo on it, ready for home defense, ideal. But for accessories, it is kind of limited to include night sights. I don't know of any aftermarket ones that are available as of yet. Could change, depending on how popular this pistol becomes, and that takes us to value. Well, again, it's not 1996 anymore. It's 2013 and beyond, and this gun is going to be more expensive. I think the LH9 retails for $615. This retails for $595. But wait, there's more. You get the 2 magazines, of course, and I just got to show this because this is amazing. It comes with probably the best pistol case I have ever seen, ever, on any pistol. So it does not come in a hard plastic case like we see with the Glocks, the SIGs, the Smith & Wessons. You know, the ones you pretty much never use and you put them in your soft cases. It comes with this. I'm not sure who's making this case for Lionheart, but it is absolute perfection. Super quality. Comes with your lock, some other accessories, cleaning accessories, extra magazine, and I don't know. Probably a $5 gift certificate for McDonald's in there. You are paying around $600 for these. Now, I love with you guys. I always do. I would be much more stoked on the Lionheart pistols if they came in around $400. They do have upgrades. You have Cerakoting, you have the aluminum grips, you have the milling, you have a 15-round magazine, you have the case. So they are a better gun than the old DP-51. They are. And again, time has moved on and things are more expensive. But when you go to $600 price point, it gives us a lot more options of what guns to buy. I mean, I've been showing you a Glock, Walther PPQ, both polymer options. I would say this for the prospective buyers, if you really like, again, steel or 7075 hammer forged frame, then this is probably a great gun to consider. It's a lot cheaper than a SIG. A lot cheaper. So I would say value is good. It is not smoking, however. Keep in mind, though, you do have a lifetime warranty with that, and Lionheart will totally back you up on that. Durability track record. Well, I'm going to give you, ladies and gentlemen, the DP-51. Thousands of rounds shot by me. I probably have as much experience on the type as anyone else in the world. 17 years shooting this gun, and it rocks. Has some quirks. The trigger's not ideal. You have to practice with it. It's a long take up. The reset's not super fast on the DP-51. Improved on this series, by the way. But I love it. It's reliable. It's accurate. Accurate enough, and you just can't kill it. That's what I love most about it. These are cooler looking. The grips are insane. This one is extremely compact, albeit not too thin. Tough as nails. Great ambidextrous gun. There you go. The downsides, again, I would say probably the trigger. No Metgar magazine compatibility as of yet. 13 rounds is standard. I don't know if you can really classify that as a huge downgrade, though, because the 228, again, one of my all-time favorites, has the same rounds. That's a Nutnfancy review. See ya.